So here's an update on my carbon fiber frames. So I had enough material for maybe a piece that's going to be on the very bottom, or maybe one on the sides and the bottom. It's not a full-length piece. So I cut this mold here out of MDF using my router here on a wire to get the right radius. It was, I don't know, 745 millimeters or something like that radius. And then I coated it with some lacquer spray here, clear lacquer spray, and then a couple of coats of Pardal paste, and it seemed to come out fine. So you basically just put one coat over the insulation here, one sleeve, and then you lay it in this channel to cure, and I did that overnight, and then it came off fairly easily. And then I put the second, I did a light sand with some sandpaper here to knock the burrs off and make it kind of smooth. I cut the fringe off and I taped the front here. And then I slid the second layer of sleeving material over and then put the heat shrink on, and that heat shrunk it down, and I put it back in the mold, although it kept its curvature just fine. So I think that'll work for that. So here's my current solution. This is just a half or a quarter size. This is just an acrylic piece that I cut just to get the sizing down. And this is a fiberglass dowel that I got off eBay. This piece will of course extend all the way across. I was worried how thin that little layer is at the very top. It's only 1 millimeter, and I understand why it has to be that way, but just for some peace of mind, I extended the piece down so that it comes down and goes through that bolt hole there. I think that's just going to make life a little easier for me in terms of thinking about if I crash, what's going to break, and I think probably things will flex instead of breaking, or I don't know, maybe this should break, I don't know. Either way, the piece is garbage. So anyway, this is the holder. Of course, it extends all the way across. This is only half there, and then you can see in the back here, the geometry moved this closer than it needed to be. The hole will actually be in the middle of this white piece right here to tighten down the rods there. Man, I can't tell if that's in focus or not. And then this is the first test piece I made. I sanded it with 1500 wet sand, and then I put 3 or 4 coats of the lacquer, spray lacquer, and it's very, very smooth here. I have 0 issues of lines catching or anything on it. I don't get any splinters at all, and then fortunately the little tube in the middle of the insulation just pulled right out, so that's a win. So I'm going to make a couple of sets, because I always make 2 just to make sure that I can get it done right, and then we'll see how it works.